Hey, arty friends. Today I'm going to do something a little special. I've been talking about doing this for a few weeks now. I'm going to show you some of my old layouts. So it's like my back in time or flashback scrapbooking, you could call it, where I'm going to show you a couple of my very old layouts from what I used to do when I first started scrapbooking about 10 to, or even 15, I reckon 15 years ago. It'll be about 15 years ago when I first started getting into scrapbooking. And so I have a lot of layouts. My layouts, half of them are in albums, they're not in order. Most pages aren't in layouts, they're everywhere, and one day I will sort them out and get them all into albums and have them all sorted so it's nice and pretty so people can actually look through them and enjoy what I've done. So today I'm going to show you one of my very first layouts I ever done, and a lot of my first layouts that I've done, I'll tell you now, I actually have redone over the years. And so this one, though, was one of the first because I remember doing it because I started off with Creative Memories like 15 years ago. And this was my first Creative Memories class that I went to. And this is the layout we done. So I know it was probably either my first or more than likely my second layout I had ever done in scrapbooking. So and I know a lot of the Creative Memories ones I have redone, and so they've just gone. And because back then you didn't take photos of your layouts, like it just wasn't done like that, and so I don't have any record of those. But I did keep this one, I think, just for the reason that it was a pop-up. And it was like a scrapbooking pop-up layout class. So I'll show you that one first. As you can see, it's not even in an album. I hope it's the right way. I don't think it's the right way. Turn it this way. So it's a Christmas one, and it's of my son. And so this was like, either my first or my second, maybe third layout I have ever done, ever. So don't laugh, okay? So here we go. It's not going to open, and it's upside down. Is it upside down? No, I'm opening it the wrong way. There we go. See? Pop-up reindeer head. So this was a, it's not popping up properly. Let me fix it. No. There we go. So there we go. So it's meant to sit in the book like this. And so, yes, I hope you can see that. I'm just going to stand up quickly and see if you can actually see the whole, you can sort of see it. So, yeah, so this was, one of my first ever layouts. And this was a Creative Memories class that I went and sat down and done. And this is probably about the time that I felt very limited with Creative Memories. And I do remember that we made this reindeer that popped up, and then we got circles, because I don't know if you remember, if any of you girls remember the old Creative Memory circle cutters with the little blades. Yeah, so I had them, and we cut out the circles, and then we cut out our circles of our photos, and then we stuck them down. And when I took it home, I remember doing it and looking at it thinking, yeah, it's pretty boring. So I did add these little embellishment bits here, like the little bows and the little wire hooks, just to sort of add that little bit of extra touch to it. And then the next time I went to a class, I had taken some extra stuff that I had picked up from, I can't even remember which stores, but probably like Spotlight and Lincraft and all of that back then. And they weren't happy that I was incorporating other brands into my scrapbooking. So I never actually ever did one again. So, and that's when I sort of ventured out and started doing my own sort of stuff. So this is my first ever layout. So tell me what you think. So I thought I would also show you a couple more layouts that I've done, like past layouts, and I've just picked out a couple. So I picked out this one here because I thought this was probably another one that was more a creative memories one, because I remember this was a cut file you could buy from Creative Memories, and so I've used that, and I've gone and you got the basketball boots too from memory, and you got these little whistle stickers as well. If anyone remembers, you might even remember this. And but I embellished it in my sort of own way, and I think the ball came in the sticker kit too. And this was, I can't remember how I did the lettering. I don't know if it was tracing. I would have traced something, but I don't know if it had something to do with Creative Memories or not. But I added my own little bits of wire, so the ball was sort of going into the hoop. And see how I'm still at the cutting my photos into circle stage here. So that's a real Creative Memories layout where you cut every single photo into shapes, which, yeah, was a little bit strange, but see, and I was still onto that sort of phase there. So I also thought I would pull out this album. So this is one of the albums that I have sort of started, and it's not really, as you can see back here, these aren't in page protectors back here because I've run out of page protectors, but I thought I'd give you a quick flick through on sort of where I ended up adventuring toward. So this was sort of when I found scrapbooking stores and all that sort of stuff, and I started to sort of get my groove happening a little bit more, and I've just totally stepped away from the whole Creative Memories stuff. And probably some of these will also be redos from Creative Memories pages. But like this one here, this is sort of when I really was sort of being more adventurous. And as you can see, I have, I don't know, can you see that there? I have like used sandpaper, and I used to scratch. That was a big thing of mine back then. I used to scratch around the edges of my photos to give it that more distressed look. And see, I'm still using the Hessian. I was using the Hessian back then. See, some things never changed, do they? So, and oops, sorry. It just, the cord of the camera is in the wrong place. So, hang on, see if I can fix it up a bit. Put it up a bit higher. There we go. And yeah, so I was still really simple in some of my layouts, but I was starting to experiment a little bit as well. And you will notice that I did use a lot of large photos back in the day. I won't show you all of them. I'll just like, here's another simpler one that I done ages ago, and I'm using the wire. I had a big thing for the wire, so this would probably be something more closer to the Creative Memories days. What else is there? Oh, this one here. This was my first shaker page that I ever done, and I remember doing this, and it took me ages. See? Can you see that? Splish splash. So, and I remember that took me so long, and it looks like it's starting to fall apart. Yeah, so that was that first experiment of that. And I won't show you any more of that. So these are like my really, really old layouts from 15, 14, 10 to 15 years ago. Those ones there. And I'll just pop it on the floor, sorry. And this one here, this is more of a sort of a recent one. This is probably around like, I don't know. Hang on, what does it say in here? Does it have a date yet? About 2005. 2005 I was doing this kind of style here. So, still using the scratching around some of my layouts, large photos. I was big on the large photos, like huge. on the large photos. And this is when I sort of started incorporating a lot of fabric. And you can thank the wonderful Jen Hall for that. I used to love Jen Hall. Oh, I still love Jen Hall. I shouldn't say used to. I love Jen Hall, and I loved all her layouts. And her layouts were always incorporated fabric back then. And they were just amazing. And so I started incorporating a lot of fabric into my layouts. Where's another one I could show you? See, fabric along here. See, this was about the time when I was pregnant with Georgia. See, that's one of my maternity pictures. So this was, yeah, 05. So this is my son. How cute was he? He was so cute. And that was our dog Max. So, and like I used to like really experiment. Like this is all different letters and stuff like that. Bit of Hessian there, stitching down here. I think this is when I first started stitching on it, and I was using my mother-in-law's old sewing machine to do that, and like just like having heaps of fun. Doodling, I mean, like we were doodling back then, so you know, all these crazes keep coming back, and it's just amazing when you've seen it all once and then you see it all again. It's just, so that was doodling there. This is all this paste here, that is texture paste. Like that, all behind there is texture paste in the background. And I made these little, what do you call them? Clay shapes, and painted them and dried them out and painted them myself and made all stars and stuff. And so we used to do all that sort of stuff back then as well. Well, I did. I don't know what other people used to do, but yeah, this is sort of like when I was really getting into like mixed media sort of, but I didn't know it was mixed media back then. Does that make sense? And see the doodling, like doodling was a big thing as well. The fabric, stamping on fabric for my title, sewing on fabric, yeah, that sort of stuff. See, and the large pictures, I love using large pictures. I just loved the whole large picture thing. This one here, I think got published from memory. I can't exactly remember, but I think that was published in a magazine, that one. And this is sort of the time where I started getting a lot of things published and things like that. So that's that one. That's a little bit later on. And then for a few years I stopped scrapbooking because I was ill and that sort of stuff. And I was pretty sick. After I got sick, I pretty much just stopped scrapbooking at all. So yeah, so this is a lot of what my layouts are stored in, old pizza boxes. And oh, that's my old address. It doesn't really matter. Don't live there no more, so it doesn't really matter. So I just pulled this one down because it's got some of my daughter. So this was done in 2006. So this is where I like had a lot of the paint coming in. I'm still doing my like rough edges and sanding my edges down, and I've like incorporated paint and things like this. I think this was a class, actually. That was a class I did. I used to teach at some local scrapbooking shops and done classes, so I'm pretty sure that was a class. And this is like a really Jen Hall inspired layout. So this one I like pretty sure I pretty much copied it. And it could have been like a class or a tutorial or something. It might have been a tutorial. I don't remember. It was so long ago. But like Jen Hall, this is her thing. So, and this is what she used to do, and it was just amazing. Like it was just so awesome. And then this was my 8x11 phase. And I started doing a lot of layouts in the 8x11 size, and just like incorporating a lot of mixed media like stuff, like different, that's what do you call it, sewing pattern, doilies, fabric, everything into sort of one. And yeah, so, and was there anything else in here? There's another eight and a half, it's 8.5 by 11, I think that's what we used to call it. Those layouts there, a lot of papers, and this is sort of, you can see here I started using masking tape, and you can see that it's yellowed a bit, which I love that. Now that's all yellowed, it looks really cool. And some vintage paper in the back there, lace and all that. So basically, yeah, my style has sort of gone from very like simple to like to where I'm at now. And so I was sort of scrapbooking this style, you know, 10 years ago, but now I've sort of gone to like one photo and not really concerned about covering the whole page. Like back then I used to cover the whole page, like just, yeah, as you can see, I'll just add heaps of embellishments on there and cover the whole page. This one was, yep, this one was published in one of the magazines, issue 52, but it doesn't say which one it was. But yeah, that was one published that I had to send off and be photographed. But as you can see, it was like very embellishment heavy I was back then, and now I'm not. Now I seem to struggle with embellishments, which is really strange, isn't it? It's really, really strange. There you go, there's another one. Yep, that was a another layout that was published. Some more 8.5 by 11 layouts. And this was like really the Heidi Swap days. Like everything was Heidi Swap. And everybody loved Heidi Swap. And like Heidi Swap was just awesome. I won't show you those ones because they're of different family members. But oh, there's that one. See, this is another one where I used like large photos. See, large photos. It looks good though, doesn't it? Because you don't need to use much to yeah, embellish. And this is when I started collecting clothes tags. This was a clothes tag off a pair of jeans, I think, from memory. And yeah, it's just on the other side of it. And they're rub-ons. That's when rub-ons used to work. They actually did used to work. But yeah, so yeah. So these are only not even half. Like I've got hundreds of layouts over the years. If I'm happy to do like another one and share some more that I've done recently. So if you'd like to see some more of my old back in time layouts, leave a comment below and let me know. And I'm thinking I might issue myself a challenge. How about if you saw a layout that I've just sort of flipped through quickly and you would like me to recreate it in my style now, let me know and tell me which layout it was, and maybe we could do like a challenge type thing. So, you know, have a bit of fun with it, looking back in time at our old layouts and yeah, going back in time. What can I call it? Flashback layouts, going back in time, back to the scrapbooking. Like something like that. How stupid is that? And I also want to say that I haven't actually put any layouts up for a while, any videos up for a while, and I have noticed that I have got over 400 likes. So somewhere over the past week, I have got over 400 likes. So I'm really excited. So thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a little giveaway. I haven't decided what I'm going to give away yet, but I'm going to put something together and I'm going to do a little giveaway, and I'm going to do a separate video for the giveaway, and I will tell you how you can enter to get the giveaway. And so yeah, that'll be on all a separate video. So watch out over the next couple of days for my giveaway video. And yeah, so let me know if you want me to recreate any of those layouts that you saw from my back to the layouts segment, flashback segment. I haven't worked out the name of it yet. And let me know if you want to see any more as well, because I do have a lot. And yeah, so I will see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, bye.